Hello everybody, we are here with a general and timeless reading. Before we get into the reading, for any of you that don't know, or if you are curious, I have created a Patreon. We have some people on there that you can connect with if you'd like to. The deal with Patreon is that in addition to the YouTube platform where this video is being broadcasted now, I created a Patreon to be like another aspect of our community. There is a subscription for it, and I put videos on Patreon that are not posted anywhere else. So they're specific videos for our new Patreon community, channeled messages that come through specifically for the people on Patreon. And so if you would like to be part of that community, if you're interested, I welcome you to join. I'm going to put the link down in the description below. It is G Tarot, but you don't need to worry about that. You can just click on it if you want to. The videos on there are only videos posted on Patreon, so they're videos posted only on Patreon, nowhere else. They are also ad-free, and also a new thing that I'm going to be doing too is when I do discounts for personal readings, they will be posted there first. So all of that and more. Now, before we get started with the reading, let's set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with everyone's highest good. All right. It looks like you are very close when it comes to your guidance with how you're taking action. I'm seeing you come out in the energy of the King of Wands, and so this is you being in a very prime spot to get things happening, but I'm also seeing you be very tight with your guidance as well, that you've been making moves that you feel are inspired by maybe a higher purpose or a higher meaning for you. Looks like a decision is going to be coming up for you with this Two of Swords here. This can be addressing something that needs to be addressed. Okay. We're looking at the Death card. Nine of Cups. The Death card did slide out reversed, but I want to get more context. So the way that I see this is like the Death card is something that can continue to go on when it comes out upright, because it's like we're transitioning from one thing to another, or we're rejuvenating it in some way. Like Scorpio is like to bring something back to life, but in a new and improved way. It needs to go through the death process first, and then we can like bring it back to life or resurrect it in some way, or like breathe some sort of power into it. It's like the caterpillar that goes into the chrysalis and comes out as the butterfly. So there's generally like a transition. I'm also hearing a translation, an evolution, things of that nature. To have the Death card coming out upside down though. Thank you, Mercury retrograde. Coming out upside down. There can be something where you're like, I don't want it to change, actually. Think about the nature of this being reversed, rather than being here where it's like change is happening and you have to evolve, and now you're like forced to change in some way, and it's going to be good for you, but you may not like it. That's sort of the Death card, like forced into needing to become something else and like elevate yourself. To have it coming out upside down, this can be like, I don't want to change that thing, and I want to stay stuck in this way, and I don't want something to progress further. So this can be you being like really stuck on something that you want and be like, I'm not changing this desire, like it's not going through any sort of transformation. I'm set on this. And no matter what happens and no matter what changes, I'm always going to want this thing. So there can be, I see this as being like a consistency. Not that Scorpio is inconsistent, but it's more changeable, which is interesting because it's a fixed sign. But less about that and more about what we're seeing. I'm also looking at the Wheel of Fortune and the Ten of Pentacles. It seems like you really having constitution here within this situation. I'm seeing you be kind of stubborn with something that you want, but it also looks like your desire is in favor here within like the universal structure. Seeing you even like holding something off that may be like very powerful, a very powerful aspect of your energy that may be like difficult to stave off, but I'm actually seeing you do that here. I want to get more context though for what this is about. Because this can also be you moving, like, it can be a situation like this. Your guide saying, like, do you actually really want this thing? Like, maybe there's a way that you can switch it up. And you being like, I'm getting confirmation of this, actually. And you being like, no, I'm not going to change it. Like, this is really what I want, and I'm set on this thing. But there was an opportunity for you to change in some way, and for maybe this desire to change as well. But I'm seeing you be in a space where you're like, it just is what it is, and there's no more like evolving that's needed here within this situation or within this system of desire. I'm seeing it be specifically for this situation. I feel like we're talking very generally right now, but we're about to get... Cooking is the word that I'm hearing. It looks like this is a project or something that you're participating in that you want it to stay the same. And your desire is to be in control of this too. To have you be going in this direction where you're like, this is my boat and I'm the one that's steering it too. Like, that's the vibe of this. And you may have, Paige can be somebody that's working with you. You can have a mentor. You can be mentoring someone, people for some of you. This seems like something consistently that you've wanted for a long time, and it's not only you wanting to be involved in this thing, but also wanting to be in charge of it. Because King of Wands wants to be in charge. King of Wands is like, follow the leader. I'm the leader. Like, nice to meet you. I'm here, and I'll tell you exactly what you need to do to get things done. It's like the person that's in charge of everybody, but also because they know what they're doing too. Like, King of Wands coming out upright is somebody that you can actually follow what they're saying because they're a good leader. Like, they have good leadership skills. It's like a really brilliant exercise of their fire energy, of having inspiration and ideas, and also being able to like boss people around or make rules and stuff like that that people will follow because this person is a confident leader. Charismatic, definitely, with the fire energy. So this is somebody that, for some of you, you actually have a following, I'm seeing, or there's something that you're doing where you're like teaching other people, something along the lines of that, or guiding other people. Which you made happen. I'm also seeing you come out as the magician here. So this is like, I'm inspired. I want to be the one that's in charge of this inspiration that's now manifesting in a physical way. And I'm seeing like even more on top of this that you're creating. It also looks like you have a lot of support, a lot of invisible support. I'm also seeing, hold on, I want to get one more card before we jump the gun here. I'm seeing a very desirable outlook. The word reprise is coming through. It looks like, for some of you, this is going to sound a bit out there. It looks like you are collecting something that has been due to you. This can be something that you set in motion a long time ago. I don't know how many of you believe in past lives. I believe in past lives. This looks like something that was set up a long time ago that you are now at the level that you need to be to access this for you. This is like old money. See this? This is like something in the past that has been done. The way that I'm seeing this, because this is the Magician next to something that has happened in the past, but that's meeting you now in your current present life. And so this is something that it was set up a long time ago and now is kind of coming into play for you. And this does look like something connected with like resources. It can be property, it can be an estate. The Fountain of Youth is coming through. I don't know exactly why. It can be having to do with a location. So let's say it like this. If you had not gone along with this thing that you felt inspired by, if you had not stepped up, if you had not become a creator, you would not have created this opportunity that is definitely supported for you to put yourself in the place to receive something that has been sort of like waiting for you to step up and receive it. What I'm seeing now is that you've clearly activated something here by staying with something and keeping like steady with this vision of yours, and gotten to this place where you're like, I'm not changing it. I'm going to stay on this route. I want to stay consistent here. I'm seeing a lot about consistency and wanting to do things in the same way over and over again. It's funny because the Scorpio card is actually really coming through as like a Saturnian energy of like, I need to do this repetitively and consistently, and I'm not going to change the formula. Because the Scorpio coming out upside down, again, like think about the opposite of that. If you have like Scorpio coming out right side up, it's like, let me tweak this and let me change this and see what needs to be done, or let's get rid of it altogether and like create the new thing, or this is going to be ripped out of your hands. For you, it's almost like you have like in some way defeated the death energy, the energy of the death card, and you're like, no one and nothing is going to take this away from me. And I'm seeing like this really strong willpower. This may be a huge activation of your Pluto energy within your chart that you're stepping into. And I'm seeing you be like, and now I don't only want to pursue this, but I also want to be the one calling the shots too. And I'm seeing something, I'm hearing incremental. I'm seeing something that now you have access to, which makes it a lot easier for you. It's like something has been granted to you or given to you even, that now allows you to create. It feels like something was sort of behind like a lock. I'm seeing the Wheel of Fortune as being one of those things that's on a safe that you have to twist, and now I'm seeing you get access to it. It's like the Magician definitely knows how to crack the code. And to have this here also, I'm getting references about the Chariot too. To have this on here also, this means that there are invisible forces that are supporting you. This is what Jupiter is represented by. This card means Jupiter, the Wheel of Fortune. And that's like all of your guides and all of your ancestors and your whole team looking out for you, even in ways that you don't realize or ways that you're not physically seeing, but that being there. So that's like, this is basically like the power source that you're like deriving your energy from. And then To have the Ten of Pentacles, this is like a really big like windfall even energy of something that you have been like meant and destined to access. And for some of you, I'm seeing this is connected with a career that you're going into or something about a particular role that you're playing. You may be having deja vu moments too. For some of you, there could be some people, a person, a community even that you're connecting with that's going to be a part of this. I'm really getting some like old ancient vibes from the Six of Cups. Like channeling wise, this is what's coming through. So it definitely feels like you like uncovering something and allowing it to emerge that was kind of tucked away long ago. And now you have access to it, and I'm seeing there be resources that are available to this, that are available to you, that are connected to this. I'm looking at this quote on this bottle. It says words of enlightenment. And the quote is, deep within your voice speaks a truth only you can hear. Listen. I'm seeing like a lot of the moves that you're making, and even moves that are maybe seen in a more outward way. I'm seeing you like really have this guide that you are following, that you're listening to, which is something that you're tapped into now, that you're going with, that's making this possible. You know what it reminds me of? Like, especially when you're following your intuition, it can kind of feel like you're on a trail and there's like a specific smell that you're following, and sometimes like the wind like blows it past your face and you can smell it really strongly and you know where you need to go. And then other times when the wind is kind of still, like you may be like, where am I supposed to go right now? I'm not really picking up on anything. And so you have the choice to kind of like stay there and wait, or you can keep moving and see if you can catch on to it somewhere else. And that's kind of what this process is reminding me of, as far as like you getting these pieces of wisdom and this intuitive knowledge that's leading you through this process that you're moving through. But I am seeing like something at the heart of you that's been like immovable or unchangeable, that has now led you into a position where maybe you have more aspirations that are connected with this path that you hadn't been tapping into before. I almost get this sense of you maybe being like, maybe you didn't have desires of being in control of something before. You could have even been, I don't want to say like scared of your power, but maybe something didn't feel relevant to you for some reason before, and now it's something that you care about. Because I'm not seeing you originally doing this and wanting to be in this space. It's more so like I just went in this direction because it was calling me. And then I'm seeing like as you do it more and more, you're like, you know what, I want to have like a bigger say in this. Like I want to have more control in this. I want to have like a greater sense of autonomy within this process. And I'm seeing it definitely be something that as soon as you decide that that's what you want to do, I'm seeing it be automatic. This is like there's nothing that you can't create within this setting. Like I'm not seeing you be held back in any way. This is, if anything, you having like much more support to be able to do that. Wheel of Fortune is like you are being supported, like the universe is supporting this creativity and this endeavor of yours to manifest what it is that you want to manifest. And I'm seeing like the key outcome here is the Ten of Pentacles, and for some reason the Six of Cups is connected with this. And I do get the sense of the Six of Cups being here because this was something that maybe over time had somehow been like forgotten or more latent, that's now popping up again, that you're like having these rememberings of. again, something that's sort of being like uncovered now. Like this reminds me of like you digging around somewhere, like being up in the attic and you find some sort of treasure that you didn't know was there. Like that's what this feels like, something that was tucked away long ago or that was buried somehow, that it's like a time capsule energy. That's what I'm getting with this. So there's something now that you are going to be gaining access to, and it's going to be something, 10 of Pentacles is something that you feel is of value to you specifically. So this may not be something objectively valuable, but it's something subjectively valuable to you, which may kind of make it even more valuable in that sense, because it's something that has some sort of like meaning to you. And to have the 10 of Pentacles, this is something like highly, highly valuable to you. So this isn't just a like one size fits all. This is something like specifically curated for you that holds meaning to you and depth. I'm looking at Scorpio, Jupiter, and Mercury. I'm seeing an opportunity that's coming up, and it looks also like you're going to get a bit of a resting period before you go into this. The door is opening. You get to like take a nap before you walk through. Seeing you like walking down a maze right now and trying to figure out how to get through this thing. I was seeing the Eight of Wands, so I see this as being connected with like a direction that you want to go through, and you may be like, what is the fastest way for me to get to where I need to get to? I'm also seeing the Eight of Pentacles, which shows like something that you've been working on really, really hard to be figuring out, something that you've been spending a lot of your time doing. You can also be managing the work that you have. This can be like, how do I prioritize the workload that I have and be most efficient with the work that I'm doing as well, and the resources that I have. Time is a resource, energy is a resource. It's you allotting time and working on the commitments that you've made. Yeah, it looks like you're in a state of perpetual learning right now. It seems like by you figuring things out and by you putting in all of the work that you've been putting in, I'm seeing like a lot that you're learning from this process. So it seems even like you're learning a lot from yourself and how you function. Like pragmatically, there's a lot that you're learning through that experience. A lot that you're picking up on. Maybe that you wouldn't have been able to access otherwise. It's like something that you can't read in a book. You have to be doing this yourself. Like you have to be learning through experience. That's pragmatism. We are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everybody for tuning in. Thank you for connecting. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.